What's going on?
Hi, this is Glenda. I've been a bit AWOL from my normal crafting this past week because I have been asked to put together 100 show bags for primary school age children with a budget of less than $2 per bag. And of course primary age goes from about 3 to 12, both girls and boys. Apparently last year they did split it into girl and boy bags. But I must admit the age difference is more of my challenge. So I thought I'd share what I've been doing, just in case somebody else has to do really cheap gifts and ideas for children. So I'll do it in bite-sized chunks, and so I'll just sort of try and tackle per video each sort of idea. So the first one is a pinwheel. And I bought the We Are Memory Keepers. Yeah, We Are Memory Keepers pinwheel board. Just came into my shops a couple of days ago, and I had been wanting to get it, so that was extra justification for doing so. So I've made just over 100 of these, and the fixings that We Are Memory Keepers make 70 cents each here. You buy them in packs of 10. There is no way that I was going to be spending that sort of money on these pinwheels. They're a small part of what goes in the bag. So I had to come up with some way of fixing them so they would still turn. So hopefully that showed up. Anyway, they do turn. They're not going to last more than a few minutes because nothing does with kids, but you know, it's all about filling the bag, making it look bright and colourful, and hopefully they'll get a bit of fun out of it as well. So I'll show how I've put them together because it is a little bit different to the ideas I found. A lot of the ideas seem to involve a pin. I have done them with brads before and they've never really spun very well for me, so I sort of came up with this method. So I thought, well, that makes it worth sharing because I haven't got anything else to share, because I have been, as you can imagine, very consumed with this project. So I've made a 6-inch pinwheel on the board. One of the advantages with the board is, of course, you get the curved corners and the nice round holes to put it in and everything, but you don't have to have the board. You can just cut pinwheels, but I wanted the board. So you can do this project without forking out for a board. I used these tongue depressors you get at the cheap shops and punched a hole in the end. I did use my Big Bite, which has seen slightly better days for some reason. I haven't used it that much, but it's a bit sad on it. But I used that to punch the holes in my sticks and also to reach right into the middle to put the eyelet, because I have fixed them all with an eyelet so that I've got the hole to work with. And then I've used 3 beads that are just leftovers that I bought for doing the DIY enamel dots, and they were 2 sorts of beads that I tried. There's still not even a dint in the container. It's like, looks like it's still full. And then a piece of wire which is 28 gauge, and it's strong enough to be able to tie it, soft enough to work with it, and it's not going to stab the kids, so I wasn't too stressed about problems with that. So I'm just going to take the small bead and thread it on my wire. Give yourself enough wire so you can tie a knot, which you'll see in a second. And you just put both ends through the eyelet, like that, and then you put your bigger bead on both strands again. You put both strands through the hole in the stick, and then you put the other bead on one strand and tie a knot. So it's left over right, right over left, so you've got a nice strong knot. As I say, you can pull this nice and tight. It's really easy to work with. It was also something I got in bulk cheap. I'm just reaching for my scissors, which I should have got out, and I'm going to bump the camera. And then I'm just going to trim it off. And you can tuck in the ends. You know, as I say, it's quite soft. It's not going to stick anybody. Just neaten up the bead there, straighten the bead in the front, and it spins. And it does do, you know, pretty well, really. I did some in thinnish paper, some in slightly thicker. If you've got a smaller group and a bigger budget, you could do it in a nice foil paper or something, but you know, I just used the papers I was willing to part with. I managed to shred this one a bit as I was cutting it. I don't know why. It was the only one out of over 110 that did it, but I thought I'd get away with it, but I don't think I will. Anyway, so that's my share on putting together a pinwheel. So it's a very, I mean, you could use, you could do this as a kid's project, not as young as the ones are going to be, but certainly probably about grade 1 or 2 up could probably put this together themselves. And that was the first thing my grandchildren said was, "Can we make it?" They didn't want to just play with it, they wanted to make it. And next time they come, they can come make some pinwheels, but I couldn't bear it while I was still making my 100 pinwheels. So that's my share, and I'll come back again with a couple of other little projects I've put together, and we'll see how the whole bag thing evolves. I've got about a month to pull it together, but yeah. Anyway, hopefully if you have to do children's projects, that might be of help, and thanks for watching.